Good morning. Today on Spotlight, a look inside the work of one of Detroit's leading nonprofits and their $500 million community initiative. Laura Graneman, Executive Director of the Rocket Community Fund and the Gilbert Family Foundation, will join us. And later on our Sunday morning program, insight into a new financial literacy program engineered by the Michigan Treasury Department. Robin Lott, Bureau Director of SAFE, will be our guest. It's Sunday, April the 5th. I'm Chuck Stokes, and this is Spotlight. Laura Graneman, thanks so much for coming in and joining us today on Spotlight. You're doing okay?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
Very good. I'm going to take you back to your school days.
Oh, boy.
2021, you launched this major initiative. You're halfway through it. If you had to give yourself a midterm grade, what would you give yourself?
Oh, man. Well, there's always room for improvement. But, I think our team is really a fantastic team. And more importantly, our community is a fantastic community. So I'm going to say maybe an A-minus. We have an opportunity to improve, but we've been so proud of the work that we've done so far.
All right, very good. That sets the stage. Let's go back a little bit. 2021, you launched this $50 million. $500 million. Big difference, $500 million. We'll add another zero to it. Where are you at?
Yeah, already, first of all, I can't believe it's been 5 years. It feels like just yesterday that we made this commitment, but we've been proud to be able to deploy about $300 million of the $500 million. So
you're ahead of the game.
Halfway through, yeah.
What did you accomplish during those first 5 years, and what have you learned from what you did in the first 5 years to maybe tweak it for the next 5 years?
Well, when we initially started this work, we said, we're here to support the community as it grows and changes, and we want to learn along the way what our community really needs. We had an idea of what we thought the most important starting points were. And so we really shaped our commitment around, first, housing stability. The idea that you really can't have a successful work life or community or school life without a stable home.
It all begins with something over your head to keep you warm.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we started with looking at individuals who are at risk of displacement, either through tax foreclosure or eviction, and saying, if we can start with intervening to make sure that they are not displaced, and then learn along the way about what the other needs in their home are, we can then layer on additional investments and make sure they're not just staying in their home because they're not displaced, but they're actually thriving in their home. So we invested first in housing, and then we invested in economic mobility, so job access, and then on top of that, public space and arts and culture. And it's been a pretty incredible past 5 years to watch and to be a part of.
What kind of feedback do you get from the things that you have invested in and the partners? And we'll elaborate a little bit more down the line on just who some of these partners are.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, that idea of curiosity, that we don't know everything. As funders, a lot of times it's easy to see solutions and to try to invest in the solution. But really where we start is, what's the root of the problem, and how can we learn as much as possible about that problem? We call it falling in love with the problem. And I think we've gotten really good feedback about that, because that inherently is kind of meeting people where they're at and really expressing an interest in how we can best support you, no matter where you are. And so that's been an incredibly important place to start.
Sure. Dan Gilbert, CEO and the spearhead of all of this, certainly has gotten a lot of attention, a lot of notoriety for the good things that he has done throughout this community. But I think a lot of times when people first hear the name, they think of all the real estate side. But this is the other side. This is, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dan Gilbert saying, we can't heal and we can't prosper as an entire city just on real estate alone, that we have to do the things that are about quality of life for individuals. And if we do that along with the other things, then we become a city that everybody's talking about.
Yeah. Dan talks about making big bets quite a lot. And he's made some big bets on the city of Detroit and the people of the city of Detroit. You know, we have these core values, we call them isms, and one of them is you'll see it when you believe it. So it's basically like the reverse of the cynical, like I'll believe it when I see it.
Right.
You know? And I think that really fits here. The idea is, you know, we have this bigger vision for the city of Detroit, a place where everyone can thrive, whether you're new to the city of Detroit or whether you've been here for generations. You know, whatever your economic background is, whatever, you know, your job background or educational background is, we want to make sure we're building systems that help people thrive. And so the real estate, the downtown work is an incredibly important part of that because it stabilizes a core job base, and it brings a lot of people to the city of Detroit. That's an economic engine for us. But equally important are the people that are already in the city of Detroit that are you know, need to connect to that job base, need to connect to that city and stay here and thrive. And so that's what the philanthropic work really revolves around.
All right, we're going to rest you a little break. We'll hurry right back with more questions right after this. And welcome back to Spotlight. We're talking to the Executive Director of the Rocket Community Fund and the Gilbert Family Foundation, headquartered in the city of Detroit. Laura, you've touched about housing. We know that this also gets into the arts and the cultural institutions, economic development, employment, public spaces, and certainly we've gotten some outstanding kudos, national attention for our public spaces and all of this. 10 years from now, what do you want success to look like?
Success to me is people are not vulnerable to that displacement risk. They're not vulnerable, and then on top of that, they're making a choice every day to be in the city of Detroit. Not only can they stay in Detroit, they want to stay in Detroit, and they're able to thrive here.
Yeah. And I imagine you see the face of Detroit changing in terms of the young people that are coming in, as well as some of the seniors who maybe were in the burbs and now say, okay, raise the kids, educate the kids, I'm going back down to the city.
Yeah, that's right. You know, in order for us to thrive economically, we need to grow our population. I think you've heard that from the mayor, you've heard that from Dan, you've heard that from other leaders across the city of Detroit. And so it really is this combination of growing our job base, growing our economy, and bringing people through attraction, but also then maintaining that core connection of services and economic stability for the people who already are here.
And Ms. Granneman, is this in sync with what Mayor Sheffield talked about in her State of the City address when she talked about tax relief and needing to go to Lansing and talk to the D's and the R's about coming together to make sure that Detroiters weren't hit harder on taxes and home ownership than other parts of the state?
Yeah, absolutely. The Gilbert Family Foundation and Rocket Community Fund, we're not political entities, right? Mm-hmm. But I would say, certainly, without a doubt, the city of Detroit is about 60% above our peers in terms of our property tax rates. And so that is going to be a critically important component of being able to both support people while they're here and attract new people to the city. In particular, you know, one of our very first investment was the Detroit Tax Relief Fund. And that Detroit Tax Relief Fund was premised on the fact that about 20,000 families were living in their homes, able to qualify for a tax exemption, a complete tax exemption in many cases, but didn't know that it existed. And so they had a large amount of back tax debt that was really hanging over their heads and causing them to be at risk of losing their homes. So the Detroit Tax Relief Fund is a great example of a systemic investment that we've made to be able to keep so far about 13,000 families in their home.
You've worked with a boatload of partners. I think I saw a figure like 200 some odd different partners. Yeah. So I won't ask you to list them all because there's not enough time to do it. And I won't ask you which one is your favorite because that's
Sophie's
like asking
Sophie's
who's your
choice.
favorite child, and you never do that. But give people some idea of some of the different types of partners and maybe the diversity of partners so that they understand what it is taken to get to this point and where you want to go.
Yeah. You know, the work of systems change, which is really what we're interested in, right? The building systems that support everyone. It requires a coalition of people everywhere from folks that serve all across the city, like Wayne Metro is a great example. They operate our Detroit Tax Relief Fund, and they really help to connect various services for individuals as they call in asking for support. But then there's also our local neighborhood organizations that are equally important because they are the trusted name that people go to support on those day-to-day needs. They're the folks that are really showing up every day in the community. So those are community development organizations, you know, like the Brightmoor Alliance, like Jefferson East, you know, like you Snapback. There's so many that I think are really, really critical that show up on a day-to-day basis.
Final question. Who is Laura Graneman and what does she bring to the party here in terms of her background and her love for this type of work?
Oh man, well, I feel extremely blessed to be able to be here today to represent a team of over 50 individuals who come to work every day feeling extremely passionate. I have a background in international development actually, so I've spent a lot of time in China, in Burma, in Thailand. But at the end of the day, I had a choice, you know, I had a choice of do I want to keep investing my time in other communities or do I want to come home? I'm from the state of Michigan, I'm from East Lansing, and ultimately I decided I want to be here. I want to invest in my state, my community, and again, I've been here for now almost 13 years, and every day I feel lucky to be here.
And Dan Gilbert would tell you we have better sports teams than China, right?
That's probably true.
Laura, thank you so much for coming in, and best of luck with the second half of this campaign. And will you come back and update us afterwards? We probably won't make you wait 5 years, but certainly we want to be able to have you back and give us periodic updates.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. And we'll be back in just a second, and we'll talk about financial literacy and someone from the State Treasury Department for the state of Michigan. We'll be right back. Stay with us. And welcome back to Spotlight. Joining me now is Robin Lott, who's been here before. It's been a little while.
Absolutely.
She is now in this position, the Bureau Director for, I'm gonna say it so make sure I don't screw it up. Okay. Saving, Access, and Financial Empowerment Bureau.
That is absolutely
all right,
correct.
Which is up under the Michigan Department of Treasury.
Yes.
And you've launched a new program called Michigan Money Matters Financial Empowerment Initiative. These are a lot of words.
I know. Sorry about that.
That's okay. That's all right. What is it?
So basically, it is a way to connect Michigan residents to some free tools about financial literacy and empowerment. You know, literacy is the learning component. We want people to become financially empowered. And so we have put together an initiative that is really an ad campaign, if you will. Mm-hmm. You may see some billboards around the city. You may see some social media items. We're
used to all that.
Right, all of that stuff, just to raise awareness and reconnect people to that concept of financial empowerment.
And this is throughout the Tri-County area, correct?
Yes, we are
not just
focusing
the
on
city of Detroit, even though there may be a heavy focus, but
the focus really is on Southeast Michigan. Okay,
perfect.
We were funded by Ballmer Group, $1.5 million to focus on Southeast Michigan for this year. Next year, we're hopeful that this could go statewide, but for now, the primary focus is Southeast Michigan.
Why is this needed?
Well, we've had some research done and found that there is a lot of folks, not just in Southeast Michigan, but in Michigan, that have indicated they've never had any financial training and would like to have some in the areas of budgeting, in the areas of saving, and, you know, getting ready for an emergency, if you will.
Sure.
And investing. So we thought, we need to do something to at least reconnect folks.
The campaign officially starts, I believe, on April 1st.
It did.
Okay. How are you rolling it out, and how will you measure success?
So we first of all had a kickoff press event down at the Junior Achievement Building on March 16th. We've identified some partners, including some faith-based communities, as well as some of the mayors, Inkster, Highland Park, Pontiac, E-Course.
E-Course, okay.
And so through those communities, we're hopeful that we can just help get the word out, basically, and to connect to the communities, right? We're the state of Michigan. We're not right there in each of those communities. So it's the folks at the community level that can help us raise the awareness on these spaces. What we hope to do then at the end, because this campaign will run obviously all summer, what we hope to do at the end of August is to research or go back and revisit the research and try to gauge what types of outcomes. How many people came to the website? How many people did we engage at community events? So on and so forth.
What will people learn if they participate in this?
So if they go to the mymoneymatters.org, moneymatters.org webpage, they're going to have an opportunity to either just connect with some of the information or register. We're hopeful that they will register. If they register, they will first of all be given a little test of questions to discover their money personality. Once you've discovered your money
almost
personality,
a way of being able to say or determine whether or not they really need this.
And what they need. Okay, all of us need something, right?
Sure.
But maybe I don't need what you need. Maybe I already have an emergency fund, but I'm struggling saving for retirement. Or maybe I'm struggling with a budget even though I have an income. Maybe I'm not budgeting properly, so I'm just overspending. Or maybe I'm spending too much in credit card debt. So it depends on what that money personality is, will determine what type of information will be served up to you. And then it'll ask you, do you want to check in daily on this webpage, weekly or monthly? And then it'll send you gentle reminders to come back to the website and reevaluate or learn more things. So it could send me an idea of a webinar topic that's coming up. It could send me an article or small video clips.
But it's education.
But it'll be and it will be related to those things that have been identified as my money personality.
Okay.
So very cool interaction there.
It sounds interesting. All right, we'll drive people to the website and we'll link it to WXYZ.com. Robin Lott, hang on one second. We're going to rush to a little break here. We'll come right back with more questions right after this. And welcome back to Spotlight. Ms. Lott, the Balmer Group has invested $1.5 million, and they have invested in a lot of different things in our community. We've had them on the program before. They do a great job. They're obviously very, very concerned about Southeast Michigan and playing a big role in making sure that they help in terms of quality of life for many nonprofits out there. From your perspective, why is it important partnering with them, and what do you hope they kind of get out of this from their end?
Well, I'm hoping that they will get some of the results that they're looking for, which is connecting those folks and increasing the awareness, not just increasing the awareness, but getting people to actually do something. Let's say throw them into an action mode.
Getting bang for their buck.
Getting bang for their buck, seeing more folks that are banked in the community so that they're not going through some of the cash places, you know, that charge you a huge amount of fees to get money. Perhaps seeing folks walk away more educated on taking out loans. Taking out loans isn't a bad thing. There's good loans, but there's also bad debt. Or helping gear students towards that financial literacy component that they're going to have now as a high school graduate. So I'm hoping that's what they'll get out of it.
There are always cynics in our society, and we live in a very partisan world these days, so there are always people who will doubt anything. But how do you answer the person that says, okay, why is the state of Michigan investing in this, and what's the big picture if what you want to accomplish gets done? How does the state as a whole, our community as a whole, how do we benefit?
We benefit tremendously by having residents who are financially savvy, and are not draining other parts of the system where they're needing state assistance or other types of social services.
Okay.
Okay. So if I
Which is
can-
oftentimes what people vote against and say, well, I don't want to do that because it goes towards that. This is a way of helping to make sure that people are financially independent and understand
You got it.
the importance of their dollar and how to invest their dollar the right way.
I like to say you work hard for the money. We all do.
Yeah, we do.
And if we're not working hard for the money, there are even some tools in this, this platform that can talk to or speak to the topics of building a resume, finding a job. So we're talking a variety of topics, but you work hard for the money, so be a good steward of the money, right? So that you have a future financial security. And that goes also into not just budgeting and spending and investing, but retirement savings. Let's talk about wills and trusts.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we all have to plan for that, the exit of
Yeah.
life, that stage of life as well.
And I guess the state is not making the fallacy and the assumption that everybody coming up in a family learns about financial literacy, because
That's
we know
right.
that doesn't happen. We know there are people
Right.
that come up in families where they're taught that from the cradle.
Right, right.
But there are oftentimes people that have not had access to that type of education and opportunities to do that, and so they don't know it, and until they learn it,
Right.
it's just passing from one generation to another generation, lack of information.
It's just like the family that might have that first college student.
Yeah.
No one in the family has been to college. Now we have that first time college student, hoping that that college student will maybe set a new trend.
The old saying, reach one, teach
Reach one, teach one, right? And it takes a village. So if we can get this whole concept of financial literacy, financial empowerment as another tool or an opportunity to uplift families, then I say, hey, we got to do it.
Robin Lott, thanks so much for sharing this valuable information. Good luck with the campaign. Once again, give the website.
mimoneymatters.org.
All right, very good.
right.
All right, very good.
Thank you,
And,
Chuck.
happy
Appreciate
Easter
it.
to you.
Likewise.
All right, and I'm Chuck Stokes. We'll be back next week with more newsmakers in the spotlight. We hope you have a good Passover, a good Easter, and we'll see you back next week.